Good day, everyone. May peace be upon you. This is IMAN SAYMEH coming to you from Orange County, California, clinical social worker with my weekly videos in raising awareness about mental health and reflecting on what's happening around us. It's been a while since I produced a video, and I wanted to take a break for Eid celebration, and I also needed to take a break for mental wellness due to what was happening and it's still happening in Palestine. I wanted to take time to honor my feelings and my emotions and process what's happening and come to you from a place of an educational lens, a place of an intellectual reflection rather than an emotional, heightened sharing. You know, our identity is a story, and each and every one of us have different identity, different story, different background, different things to share about their experiences in life, and they're all valid, so long they stem from the truth. In order for us to live an authentic life, we must live by the motto of allowing truth to be true. The heartbeat of racism is denial. When we are in denial of factual events and historical events that took place, and we try to cover up the truth, we will live the rest of our life in some sort of paranoia, in some sort of self-righteousness and arrogance, because we're too consumed and too involved in protecting the truth that makes sense to us. But when we hear different truth from historians, from people who lived through it, from people who experienced it, from people who remembered it happening, and we still reject it, that comes from a deep-rooted arrogance, with all due respect, of not wanting to know the truth. So when you find events arise throughout history that would lead us to how things are today, it will leave you emotionally charged up because you've been invested and you've been conditioned to cover up the truth. You have no capacity to accept anything new. So you live life in almost like a darkness, and anything else that comes your way, you'll reject it. That will not leave you with an opportunity to grow, to learn, to enhance your quality of understanding to things and people. It will keep you a bit isolated. Why is this important? It's important because every person we meet is a human experience added to our life experiences. And if we continue denying someone's existence and truth and story, it's living a life of arrogance. It's living a life of privilege, of living a life of being oppressing to others. And the more we feel that our story is more important, our story matters without really concrete truth to it, we will continue being part of the problem in this world. I get it. It's hard to go against what you were brought up to think. It's almost like feeling you are being disloyal. You're going against nature. But isn't that the price of standing up for justice, for truth? Isn't that the price we pay to make a difference in this world and leave, an imprint? Isn't this the price that we're supposed to pay as we are navigating through our different journeys, to stand up in our uniqueness, to bring justice? Isn't this what this whole human experience all about? to make this place a better place for everyone? I remind you of the saying of Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings be upon him, when he said, none of you will believe until you love for others what you love for yourself, until you love for your brother what you love for yourself. And you know, when we talk about brothers and sisters, to me, I don't limit it to only Muslims, brothers and sisters, because I see brothers and sisters in humanity. All of us. We all want a better life for each and every one of us. We all should strive to want truth, honesty, transparency, and authenticity in our lives. How else are we going to live on this planet wanting goodness for ourselves when we are oppressing others, when we are limiting others, when we think we are better than? We're seeing people on social media taking on each other in a very vicious way. Are you taking care of your mental health? Are you taking care of your well-being? How is your spirituality? How is your blood pressure? How is your quality of sleep? How is your food consumption when you're dealing with all this added stress? You don't have to have the last word. When you have your truth, you have your truth. But if you know your truth is not stemmed and it doesn't come from a place of real truth, and it's just conditioned truth, you will feel that you need to argue and have a back and forth, and your emotions will be heightened and your blood pressure will rise, and you will start feeling all kind of illnesses and chronic pain because you're trying to protect something that is not true. Allow truth to be true and watch the world become a better place. But that can't happen if you don't do that within yourself, individually, in your lives, in your relationships. You might hear this message as, what is she talking about? This problem has been going on for years. But I ask you to reflect on how you are contributing to it today, the way you are, the way you lead your life, the way you set up your relationships, the way you spend your time, the way you communicate yourself, the way you regulate your emotions. That's all contributing to it. See, the problem that's around us, it's not outside of us. It's always an indication for us to need to connect with ourselves on a deeper level, an indication that we need to connect with our Creator on a deeper level. Nothing can be changed if you can't name it. See, if you are in denial of what's happening around you and you can't put your finger on it and name it, this is oppression, this is racism, this is right, this is wrong. If you cannot name what's happening around you, you ultimately cannot make a difference. You need to learn how to name it, learn the story behind it, connect with the feelings that comes with it. And that's how change can happen. It could be in your own personal relationships, and it could be what's happening around us politically. When you deny the rights of people to exist in peace and have freedom, and deny their existence in their own homeland, that makes you part of the problem. Now, I commend those who wrote me privately, who do not support the status quo of what's happening in Palestine, and they've learned through their religious backgrounds and upbringings to take one side over the other, but they can't quite come out and say it publicly. I pray for your courage to be part of the difference, to be the movement to break the cycle of oppression. And this is not choosing one side, it's just choosing truth. When we choose truth, things will fall in place differently for everyone. From a spiritual perspective, if you find yourself feeling hopeless and helpless of what's happening around you and what should I do and what can I do, pray, fast, donate, bring awareness, educate yourself, work on yourself, exercise. Self-care is very, very important, especially with all this back and forth social media comments and posts. Put limits to it. Make sure that you have boundaries, because secondhand trauma is very true. And it's real. PTSD, what's happening around you of oppression and injustices could bring up your own personal experiences with that. Be good to yourself and be good to others. I pray for deeper understanding, for healing, and for victory. Have a good day.